the Philippines. So today we're going to look at all the cool spots in Siargao Island, where you should go, what to see, where to stay, and then if we have time, we'll look at a few other hot spots in the Philippines. Now remember, there's like 7,000 islands in the Philippines, so there's just so much to see and do. But today we're specifically focusing more on Siargao Island, which is over here, and then we'll get to some other islands a little later. Okay. So let me zoom in here so we can find it. It's way over here on the right. There's a couple ways to get to Siargao. From Manila or Cebu is probably the easiest. But once you get here, probably the first stop you'll want to make is you'll probably land somewhere around here. The airport is over on the left side here. And then the first place you'll probably want to go to is General Luna. That's just kind of like the busiest spot of Siargao Island. It's a good spot to start. So let's start there. Okay, it's known for its surfing. It's one of the hottest spots in the Philippines to surf. At one point, it's been called the surf capital of the Philippines, but that's changing now. There are other good spots in the Philippines as well. But right now, there's a spot called Cloud 9. That's the most popular break out of all of them. Somebody discovered it and it just blew up on social media, and now that's become the hottest spot. Now, let's just zoom in a little more. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. They're surfing all along here. So all along this beach, you can surf different breaks. And one of the things I wanted to point out right away was a good place to eat is Curvada. It's got awesome food. It's cheap, and there's all kinds of dishes served in front of you. Like there's just a whole bunch of already prepared food right there in front of a counter, and you just point to what you want. There's like 20 different dishes, and they just pile up your plate, and then you go and you can eat it as often as you want. It's like a buffet in a way, but it's just really, really good. So that's one place you'll want to eat if you go there. For hostels, there's let's see if I can find it here. There's something called Happiness Hostel up here. I think it's further up. Or there it is. So right a little farther up, there's this place called Happiness Hostel. That was where I stayed, and I stayed at a couple, but this one was the best one. It's an incredible hostel, and they have really nice rooms. It's a little more pricey, but if you want something, there are cheaper ones. There's the famous one, Mad Monkey. It's a party place. So if you're into like really high end party place, then that's it. It's noisy, and there's tons of people, and you'll meet a ton of people. If you don't want something that's so crazy party-ish, then you might want to go with something like there's a few other ones along here as well. So there's so many. So you'll have to the hostel world is probably the best thing to go to check it out. But anyways, all right, let's move on. Let's go to there now. If you were to go up to the left-hand side here and cross the bridge, you can start to make your way up to the other parts of the island. And it gets up into Santa Fe. This is all beautiful driving if you drive all along here with a scooter. And what I wanted to mention was if you keep going northeast, all the way up to this area here, this is called Pacifico. And this is where I stayed for about a month or two, and they got amazing surfing all in here. Okay, and it's really cheap. It's cheaper than the rest of the island. It's cheaper than General Luna. And there's some really good surfing all along in here as well. And it's a lot less crowded. There's a lot of people. It's more remote. And there's a couple good spots in here. Let's see if I can find a couple of good. There's La Finca. That's an amazing hostel to stay at. That's one of the ones I recommend. It's awesome. And there's right here is like a little town, like a tiny little town. All along here, there's all kinds of little things you can see and do. There's like all kinds of restaurants along here. Like if you go more north up here, this is where it starts to get even more remote. If you want something high end, this Trogan's Perch is like incredibly beautiful. It's right on this cliff overlooking the ocean, but it's a little pricey. It's a little more expensive, but it is beautiful. Now, there's this place called the Coconut Plantation. You can do work up there. They have Starlink and Wi-Fi, so it's really beautiful spot as well. And then now you're getting into really remote area. Like this is super remote. Not very many people come up here, but it's beautiful. So all along in here, the north part of Siargao Island. And then if you go on the left-hand side, the west part of the island, all down in here, Santa Monica, there's this beautiful sunsets all in here because it's on the west side of the island. So you get these amazing sunsets. They're just incredible. And there's good surfing here during the months of October, November, December. So that's the only time you want to surf up here. What happened to my map? Is that time of year. Oh, my map's kind of going crazy on me. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's talk about a few other highlights. What you can do if you want something a little bigger, or you can take day trips. So from there's Siargao Island here, you can actually take a day trip over to Siargao City, and it's much bigger. They have hospitals, and there's lots of shopping here, and it's a much bigger island. So it's kind of a neat island to go for the day. A lot of people will go there for the day, just check it out. And then if you go a little farther over to Bohol, I wanted to mention Bohol because it's actually one of the cheaper islands to live in all the Philippines. It's absolutely beautiful. They don't have surfing, but they do have kite surfing, but they don't have regular surfing. Bohol's super cheap, and it's really beautiful. It's cheaper than Siargao Island. And then over here near Cebu there's actually, you can swim with the whales in there. It's a really popular spot to swim with the whales. Okay. Now, what I wanted to show you was even farther over. If you island hop over to Palawan, this is probably one of the most beautiful islands in all of the Philippines. It's debatable, but I definitely something that if you are visiting, you'll want to see for sure. And there's a couple spots along in the Philippines. So you want to make your way up the island all the way to El Nido. El Nido is super, super remote. They call it the last frontier, Palawan, because it's just so remote, and you just don't want to get hurt. Make sure you have really good travel insurance because there's no hospitals or anything like that. So you just got to be extra vigilant and careful when you're traveling. And there's amazing little places to scuba dive and snorkel all along in here. And there is surfing up here in El Nido. Let me see if I can zoom in. So El Nido is an amazing surfing spot, but it's very remote. And that's a very good hostel, by the way, that Lexius hostel. So I recommend that place as well. They have good Wi-Fi there now as well. Oh, sorry about that. Let me see if I can zoom. It keeps zooming me out. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyways, I wanted to show you another little hotspot called Coron. Okay, this is like a super hotspot. It's an amazing place to see. There's snorkeling there. There's amazing swimming, and there's amazing coral reefs. It's not bringing up any pictures right now. I'm not sure why, but like usually if I click on it, I can show you some stuff. But anyway, I think it's the connection is a little slow right now, so it's kind of throwing the map all around. So that's just a couple spots I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so hopefully that made sense, and hopefully the sound is okay. There's Palawan, there's Cebu, there's Bohol, and then over here there is Siargao Island over here on the right. But there's so many other places as well. Those are just a few. I could spend days telling you about all the islands in the Philippines. So anyways, hopefully that was informative. Let me know in the comments if there's other islands you prefer in the Philippines. I'd love to hear about those too, or any other islands close by that you think is worth visiting. I'd love to hear about those as well. If you have a chance, you might want to make your way over to one other spot while we're talking about islands. See if I can find it. It is not Bali, it's close by to Bali. Let me see if I can find it here. Christmas Island. It's very hard to get to, but it's probably one of the most remote islands in the world. Extremely difficult to get to. But it's worth the trip if you can get out there. And it's close to Bali, Indonesia. That would be another one to put on your bucket list. And there is another island I wanted to show you. It's much closer to Bali. Over here. Where is it? Can't find it. Well, anyways, it's called Nusa Lembongan, and it's close to Bali. And I just can't find it on the map right now. But if you just Google Nusa Lembongan, it'll come right up.